two, three, four. Okay. Oh. Hey, what's up, Vamp? How you doing? Hey, what's up, Vamp? How you doing? Can you hear me all right? Can you hear me all right? Okay. Well, hopefully everyone shows up, and enough people saw that I had to move it till today. Well, hopefully everyone shows Lord up. Lord of the hats. I actually haven't bought a few hats in quite some time, but I actually haven't bought a few hats in quite some Thanks. Time. Welcome, Trailblazer. How's your day going? Thanks. I've had a rather unusual day, but you know. I've had a rather unusual day, but you know. Okay, that should fix it. Okay. Is that good? Yeah. Okay. That should fix it. Okay. Okay. Yeah. So, what have you guys been up to today? Hmm? What have you guys been up to today? Have you been playing anything? You guys see anything interesting? Really? Okay, Devil May Cry 5 and Resident Evil 4. I'm guessing Vamp it's in preparation for Resident Evil, which comes out next month. I might do the same. I do have to play Dragon's Quest next week, though, because I think it comes out on the 4th. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Okay. Thoughts on Dragon Ball returning? Do you? I mean, I'm a little confused on exactly what they're doing. Like from what I saw, it's like Dragon Ball Super Beerus, but they're doing like the first plot line, which is weird because I was like, wait a second, you're telling the introduction of Beerus again because you did it for the film, and then you did it again when you started Super, and now you're doing it again. Like, is that what they're doing? Because I'd heard. If there was like another announcement, I didn't hear about it, but I did hear about the Beerus one. You go into Killing Floor to later. Oh, okay. Okay, Vamp. Or that's nice. There's about 5 different versions of Battle of Gods out there. I don't know. Yeah, it's weird. I've never seen. Yeah, I've never seen them go over a storyline that many times. It's weird. Yeah, I agree. You've been playing real Final Fantasy VII Mod specifically in the alternate universe where Aerith survives and it also adds new items and quests. I've heard of that one before. Not gonna lie, animating Battle of Gods for a third time is. I agree, Vamp. I mean, if you're gonna bring back Super, then why not do some of like the new storylines that have really come out, like after the Tournament of Power. That's what I thought we were gonna get. So, you know, that would be exciting. Like, I'm really not interested in going over, you know, Battle of Gods again. I agree, Vamp. I did think the movie was good. I saw that one in theaters. In fact, I've seen like all the recent Dragon Ball movies in theaters. But yeah, Battle of Gods was great. Yes, yes, the Morrow arc. I really like that. I mean, I'd love to see. Yeah, I would love to see that. I mean, that's really where I thought it was going. We're getting. Yeah, I thought that. I really did. I really thought that. I would love Dead Space games set on Earth during the. That's Trailblazer. That's what I assumed Dead Space 4 would have been. I mean, honestly, that's why I'm like, yeah, no, Vamp, no, we're not. But going back to Trailblazer, I mean, that's where Dead Space 3 left off. I was positive we were going to get a Necrov outbreak on Earth, and then that would be the conclusion of the series. Which is why I was excited for the remake of the first Dead Space, because that would have shown that there was still interest in the franchise, and then hopefully that would lead into a Dead Space 4 to at least end the series. I have no problem with EA wanting to like retire Dead Space. I'm just upset that they didn't finish it because 3 ended on a cliffhanger. So yeah, but yeah, Vamp, no, we're not. Which is very, 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 very upsetting to me. But yeah, it says here there's only 3 of you, so hopefully more people show. But yeah, if you guys want to throw anything at me, go ahead and ask away. But I saw a lot of people saying that we're getting the. I have not seen that anywhere. I have not seen that anywhere. That people say we're getting the Morrow arc. I have not seen any of that. We are. I'm gonna double check because maybe you got some information that you just hang on. I'm gonna double check because I'm just saying I don't know. I'm just saying I've heard very little. I've heard a bunch of different announcements. I've not heard that. All I'd heard. Hang on. I just turned on my laptop. Give me a second. I'm just saying the only thing I'd heard. Hang on. Okay, hang on. Not. Okay, I'm seeing Dragon Ball Super finally getting us close to Black Frieza anime debut. Let's see. Super officially announced that the anime is coming back for a new era soon. That means we're now going to get. Now we're getting closer to seeing Black Frieza in action. The anime is going to return with an adaptation of the Galactic Patrol arc. Okay, that I did not hear. So you might be right. I'd only heard of Beerus. I literally that is so. I mean, they may have done a bunch of different announcements. So you might be right, but okay, this is the first I'm hearing that. So you probably had some information I didn't. I did not see or hear that until now. So you may be right because they did say that it's a super nonsense part of the Dragon Ball franchise's 40th anniversary celebration. So you might be right. But again, all I'd heard, they might have had a bunch of announcements, but yeah, I only knew about the Beerus thing. So you might be right. What game would I like to see come out for Final Fantasy God of War? Wait a second. What? What game would I love to see come out for Final Fantasy God of War and Devil May Cry? Wait, what do you mean? What do you mean a game? Okay, Trailblazer, what do you mean game come out of Final Fantasy God of War and Devil May Cry? What do you mean? I mean, I guess Final Fantasy 17 God of War, the next one, which we already know is coming, and Devil May Cry 6, I guess. I mean, just it's been long enough for each of them. I mean, it's been what I want to say at least 4 or 5 years since Devil May Cry 5, maybe 3 from Final Fantasy 16, and maybe 3 for God of War. I'm fairly certain for each, like, wait, what? For each one, like, what game for each franchise? Just a sequel to each game, I guess, but I'm pretty sure those are coming. God of War, we already know, has been in development for at least a year. They just haven't announced it. I'm pretty sure now that Capcom has finished Resident Evil 9, they'll go back to Devil May Cry because they usually jump back and forth. And Final Fantasy, I'm sure it's going to get a 17th installment soon. I don't think Square's worked on anything big in a while, and it's been like a few years since 16 came out, so I would expect an announcement, in the next year or two. But yeah. Your thoughts on Resident Evil? Well, Leon's gameplay looks fine. I mean, Marcus, it doesn't. You don't have to convince me. I mean, once I saw Leon, it's an instant buy. We haven't had Leon in a game. Like let's be frank. I mean, let's be honest. I mean, let's be frank. We have not seen real Leon in a Resident Evil game since 2012. It's been 14 years since we've seen real Leon. And this is like real Leon. This ain't like depressing zombie Leon from the 2 remake games. But yeah, we haven't seen Leon since Resident Evil 6. And that was in 2012. So we haven't had him in a real Resident Evil game in 14 years. So once they showed that they're dividing the gameplay style where Leon is more action and this new character is more like horror, I was already sold. That's all you needed to that's all I needed to hear. That was once I saw that, and I've seen like a number of gameplay of like his like him in action, that's enough for me. That's a day one buy. You don't got to worry about me. That's a day one buy. I feel like Square is working on part 3 of the remake now. They probably... I swear. Honestly, don't expect that to come out till the next gen consoles. I assure you, don't expect that. And I'm telling you, I really hate... This isn't such... Like, I swear to God, if they announce a remake of 10, you're gonna hear it from me. I'm gonna murder somebody. There are so many other games they can remake. Just stay away from 10. Like, if you want to do 8, fine. If you want to do 9, fine. I'm surprised they didn't try to go back and do some of the early NES games. I would have expected... I mean, I guess they went for 7 because it's the most popular, maybe? But, like, they've been teasing a remake of that game for decades, so maybe... But I think it's a stupid idea that they separated into 3 games. And they fucked up the plot to the point where I don't even recognize the characters. So it's not even really Final Fantasy VII. Like, I don't know what remake I hate more, whether it's this bullshit remake of 7 or the damage they did to Resident Evil 4. I really don't know which game did more damage. I can't... It's hard. No. Yeah, no, Vamp. Resident Evil 9 is... It's back to like a honestly, gameplay wise, it looks like 6, but just single player. to be fair. It looks way faster than what we had in 8. So. Leon controls gave run for the money. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, Leon with the hatchet. Yeah, he's not carrying a knife. He's wearing a hatchet, which I thought was like, whoa, that takes things to a whole nother level. Imagine if they were going to kill off. They could kill off Leon. I mean, I've always felt they should start retiring these old characters because Leon's got to be in his 50s by now. Like, it doesn't make sense to have these. Like realistically, the old team, like the team of like Chris and Claire and Leon and especially Ada. Ada's in her 60s, maybe early 60s if she's in this game, which she probably is. I'm like, why are you having senior citizens still fighting BOWs? I mean, that's crazy. There have been people talking about. Look, if they want to remake 9, that's fine. That's fine. I'm fine with that. I won't be playing it, but yeah. I never grew to love Resident Evil 4 remake. Yeah. Well, same here. It's blasphemy to mention the remake we only take about the original here. Yes, but heck, I can respect people's others' opinions. It's a tomahawk, not a basic hatchet. Okay, a tomahawk. There are many different versions of names for. Hey guys, have I ever been laid off from a job? No, Rashard, I've never. Every job I've left, I've quit. I quit and moved on to another job. You know, I mean, we're 17 minutes in, and I'm a bit surprised. Does anyone notice anything different? Just real question. Does anyone notice anything different? Just what you're seeing. Does anyone, like, I don't know, like, there's 6 of you in here, so maybe I see a mirror behind me. No, you're taller. Okay, well, I guess none of you follow me on Twitter, and we're almost at the 20-minute mark, so I'll mention it now. I've been kind of, like, teasing it, but, like, no one has said a word, but recognize that? Like, I've been teasing it for like the past 15 minutes and not one person has said a word. Yes, Vamp, I did. Yes, I did. Ethan's arc was a waste of time. Yes, I did. I did get a tattoo, a bigger one than the one I got right here. Oh, it's just a quote, a personal quote of mine, in a special language. That's all it is. But yeah. But what else do you guys want to talk about? Because there's 6 of you in here, so hopefully more people will show up and yeah. Any other games you guys want to talk about, or want any updates on everything? Who do you have winning the Super Bowl? Dude, he's like, you're a Patriots fan? Dude, I've always been a Patriots fan for like, at least 18 years. I did not expect this. I really didn't. I was shocked. I would never have guessed in 1 year. I really wouldn't have. But everyone's kind of writing them off. But, hopefully they'll pull off an upset. So, I'd rather have Leon retire than get killed. I, I would have it either way because it seems like if you kill off a character, then that kind of like guarantees that you can't use them again. I mean, how many characters get happy endings? Like I mean, just yeah. If you could have any Final Fantasy character as a roommate or guard your house from a robbery, who would you pick? You can only choose three. Oh. Ooh, okay. Huh. Red 13. Easy. Because he's kind of like a wolf dog, so he's got extra senses. Who else? Maybe Barrett, but I feel like... No. Barrett's got a kid. We can't do that. I would say Tifa, but I would just end up sleeping with her, so that she's not a guard. Cloud's too boring. Man, this is tough. Honestly, I don't know. Yuffie could be a fun roommate. So I guess they go Red 13 and Yuffie. Vincent's too scary. Sid smokes. And I hate Cat Sif. But if he leaves as android, he might be okay. So I guess I go with Cat Sif, Yuffie, and Red 13. I guess. Because I'm thinking as roommates or like a roommate. Like I think I could live with Yuffie without getting involved. I'm pretty sure I could. She's a little wild for my taste. And as long as Cat Sif just shuts up, I think I'd be fine. And Sherry would be a great successor. Yeah, the fact that we have not seen Sherry or Jake in like 14 years is ridiculous. Hey, what's up, Winter Ghost? Welcome to the stream. Welcome. I would love to see Chris or Leon end similar to Snake. And dude, they could have done that in Resident Evil 6, but they threw that away. Sid or Sephiroth. What the? Dude, I hate smokers, so Sid's a no. And why the heck would I want to live with a sociopath and psychopath like Sephiroth? Are you crazy? Vincent's a little too dark for my taste. I mean, is the Moro arc supposed to be the best arc in Super? I don't know if it's the best, but it definitely looks pretty interesting. I mean, just a chance to like see like Vegeta kind of enter like, you know, to learn how to use destruction energy. I would love to see that and see Ultra Ego. Like that's gonna be a great scene. How's my day going? Oh, well, you know, I just went out, got some adventures, got some ink. You know, that's my day. How about you? Yuffie's wild. I like him wild. Yuffie's wild, but she's like not like annoyingly wild. Like, I mean, as long as she ain't like, you know, popping up in front of me and smoking, like, throwing ninja stars at me, I think will be cool. Rocket, you can choose Sephiroth. Oh, no! Why would you want to live with a psychopath who has the power to summon a supernova that can literally wipe out half the solar system? Why would you ever want to have a roommate like that? Are you crazy? I feel like Vincent would just mind his own... Yeah, but, like, he'd mind his own business, but like Vincent's kind of, I mean, Vincent can turn into a demon, and the guy like shoots things. So I mean, that's just weird. Sherry would have been in Resident Evil 7 and 8 if Ethan and his stupid wife didn't exist. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. And when it goes, you're good at finishing a script. Okay, what are you working on? You choose Zach, Aerith, and Barrett. I'd babysit Marlene. Okay, I mean, are you sure you want Zach and Aerith as roommates? You know they're gonna be banging next door to your room. I mean, you know they're involved, right? I mean, I'm just, me personally, I'm just not comfortable having roommates that I know are actively screwing in the next room. I mean, if the guy brings his girlfriend over, that's one thing. But to actually have them live there, I mean, I don't know. I'm not really comfortable with that. Would you be comfortable with that? Richard, thoughts on Ultimacia from Final Fantasy VIII? Oh, she's a bad bitch. Ooh, ooh, that is one bad sorceress. Ooh, the fact that you can only kill her in her own realm. Oh yeah, she's a bad bitch. Woo! Not quite as scary as Klefka, but I'm definitely more scared of her than Sephiroth. I'll admit that. Thoughts on who they casted for Kratos and the other for Amazon's God of War? Oh, I thought it was great casting. They just get the guy that did the voice for a Thor in the game. Works for me. I got no complaints. I mean, he's played the games. He knows the lore to some degree. I am just a little bit upset that they're, like, as far as I can tell, they're ignoring all of Greece. But to be fair, you really could only make a series from the Norse era because it has like a lot of characters, as opposed to the Greek era where it's really just Kratos by himself. So I understand that, but I thought the casting was spot on. I'll be watching it. Yeah, absolutely. Is Ultimacy the most powerful Final Fantasy VII Final Fantasy villain? No. She's powerful, but there are definitely a number of villains that are considerably more powerful than her. But she's definitely she's definitely elite. Marcus, I don't care what Rain says. At least Resident Evil 6 had good ideas. Yeah, I mean, it had good ideas. I just think that there's parts of it that they just didn't execute very well. I mean, say what you will. I thought Leon and Helena's part of the game was excellent. I thought using Jake and Sherry was a great idea. Ada was more stealth. That was great. I mean, my only complaint was that Chris and Piers was pure action, and maybe people didn't want that. I mean, when you get to the point where you're literally just playing a third-person shooter game, yeah, I could understand the frustration. I mean, that's not Resident Evil at all. Even in the movies, I mean, there aren't many enemies that are actively using guns, so I could understand the frustration. And yeah, I would say out of the 4 campaigns, that was my least favorite, no question. And there was only only one, maybe 2 good parts in all of Chris's section. So yeah, I could understand people's complaints. Zach Fair versus winner goes. I have no idea who that is, so I can't say. Vav, I thought you were against the idea. Oh, no, okay, no, I'm against a God of War movie. If they wanted to do multiple shows, I'm cool with that. Same thing with something like Metal Gear. I would totally be okay if they did a Metal Gear series. I just have always been against a movie. You just can't do a Metal Gear movie. But yeah, a series for God of War, I'm fine with that. Just get the cast and get a good script, which it's already written for you. You just have to cut a bunch of stuff out to skim it down a bit. But yeah, I got no problem with that. That's the script. I'm almost finished with it. Oh, okay. And the Chill Moon. I started playing Killzone 1 on the PlayStation 2 emulator, and wow, it's different than Killzones 2 and 3 in Shadowfall. Yeah, controls-wise, big. It feels really dated. I would totally welcome a remake of at least Killzone 1. Those controls, ooh, those are rough. Honestly, Piers had the most potential. Yes. When it goes, 100% agree. Which is why I was upset when they killed him off. Because I was like, when Chris was like, yeah, I'm going to retire and I want to take my place. I thought that was a great moment that they screwed up. Because I was like, finally, we're phasing out some of these older characters and we're bringing a new generation. Because you've already killed off all the old threats. Wesker's gone. And, Wesker is, the last connection to Old Umbrella for, a lot of these characters. So to have them retire or fade out would be fine. And you just bring in a new generation of characters that belongs to a newer generation of fans. instead of just bringing back these old ones and like trying to justify why are they still fighting BODs in their 50s and 60s? Because I would even say there's like a scene in Resident Evil 7 that takes place like 14 years like after the events of 8, in which if you brought Chris at that point, Chris is in his 70s, almost 80 years old, and you're telling me he's still active? Like, no, I'm sorry. I'm not gonna buy, even for Leon, that a 50-year-old man is gonna still be like your most seeked out agent. I'm sorry. Like, Tom Cruise is great and all, but even he doesn't have the stamina or mobility that he had 20 years ago. And Tom Cruise is in great shape, but even he's a 50-year-old man. Like, I would imagine he probably can't be as mobile as he used to be in 2 or 3 years from now. Okay, no. You're Ramp. 100% agree. Resident Evil 5 is not all action. Absolutely not. I would say it's like 65% action, but there's plenty of horror in that game. So, I agree. Am I seeing Season 5 of The Boys? Yes, of course. My biggest criticism of 6 is that they can't choose your inventory for 4 and 5. They didn't. Here's the thing about inventory, is that they pretty much give you all of your weapons in 6. Like, so you don't even have to worry about inventory. Like, because you can't run out of space. Like you can make herbs, and herbs are now like pills. But like weapons, you're basically like a tank. Like, you can carry like 10 different guns, and you don't have to worry about ammo or any of that stuff. I mean, I guess that makes gameplay a little bit easier, but you know. They already did that with Ethan. Did I get a new tattoo? Wow, Ultima, you are the very first person to recognize I got a tattoo before I told these guys. Took them almost 20 minutes for me to tell them, but congratulations on having a good eye. Yes, I did get a new tattoo. At this point, Chris is giving off, I'm getting too old for this kind of... I agree, Winter, he absolutely is. The Chill Moon Guy, what is the first film you've seen in theaters this year? I might see Send Help from Sam Raimi. Oh, I'm going to check that out probably later tonight. That looked really good, so I would say Send Help is probably the first film I'll see this year. That looks interesting. Vamp, you think Leon is still in love with Ada? I'm sure they've had a few one night meetings, I'm sure, over the course of 30 years. I'm sure. I mean, I don't know how I feel about hitting a 60-year-old, but I'm sure when we see Ada, she'll look pretty good. I would hopefully she's less mobile. Oh, okay. Hang on. Hang on. I picked up a copy of Terminator 2. Oh, okay, that's great. Is Resident Evil 6 worth playing? Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, of course. Yeah, I mean, heck, I might even do a playthrough of that and ask one of you guys to join me. Absolutely. The herbs in Resident Evil 6 look like mints. Yeah, they pretty much make them into pills. I mean, Ultima said, you should tell us what it is. Also, this Resident Evil elitism is crazy. Well, it's pretty much a personal quote of mine, but it's... I wonder if I could take it off, because I got this at around 10 o'clock. So I've had this on for 6.5 hours. So I don't know. Maybe I'll take it off by the end if enough people want to see it. I mean, Salt Snake was in his 60s. No. Very wrong, Vamp. Snake was not in his 60s and 70s. Correction. He's actually, technically, he's only 30. but the accelerated aging aged him up to like an older age. I would say maybe late 60s, definitely not 70s, to the point where the muscle suit that he wore allowed him to be more mobile. But he was only 30. Like, yeah, by the time he probably dies, he's like late 30s, maybe early 40s, because they fixed the fox dye in his body, and that kind of cancels out the older fox dye variation. But no, he was only 30. It's just after Metal Gear Solid 2, that's when the accelerated aging kicked in, because as a clone of Big Boss, they were given limited times. They were given limited lifespans. So that's what the accelerating aging was. But no, he was not. He was not in his 70s. You forgot that Resident Evil is filled with superhumans. Oh, I mean, there's kind of. I mean, it's not filled with superhumans, but there are like some people who are human who have superhuman capabilities. You know, I would say. Winter Ghost, do you have faith in Grand Theft Auto 6 despite all the delays? Look, I'll play it, but like, it's another Grand Theft Auto game. I'm not expecting anything much. Vamp, I just hope Leon stopped simping to a girl who did him dirty many times. Oh, Leon's just a tragic lover. Who knows? I'm sure he's still pining after Ada. You know how he gets every time she shows around. But I'm sure. But we do know she did give him. She did give him the ass. They confirmed that they have had sex on several occasions. They did acknowledge that. So. Rashad, who do you think is winning the Men's Royal Rumble? Well, I mean, I can't watch it, but you could go in a number of directions. I'm pretty sure whoever wins it is gonna go after. That's tough. I just feel like whoever wins, it could be a bunch of people. It could be Cody. They might want to put the belt back on him and have him go against Drew. They could give it to Roman, but I think if they give it to Roman, Roman ain't winning the title. Like you realistically cannot put the belt back on Roman. So Brock Lesnar announced it. You could do that. I think Braun Breaker. I think no matter what happens, Braun Breaker's getting the title from Punk at WrestleMania. That I think one way or another. So that's tough. They could give it to Cody. I don't see Sammy winning. But if I had to safe bet, I'll go with Cody. I feel like they'll do it. That just sounds like something that current WWE would do. What do you want from a Dead Space 4? Honestly, if it were me, I would have it be traditional in the sense that it's one player focused, but two different campaigns with Carver and Isaac doing different things, but their actions affect the other's journey. But it would have to take place on Earth. That's what I would want for Dead Space 4. Ultimate, take it off if you need instructions. I know how to take it off. Don't worry. I'm just saying if enough people want me to take it off by the end of the stream, I will. But yeah, we still got another 22 minutes. I'm saying if enough people want me to take it off. Snake has bad genes. Technically he has dominant genes, so you know. It's funny because Leon gets attention from many girls who are better for him, but he doesn't care. Well, he's just into women like that are just dangerous and are mysterious. I mean, that's what he's into. Maybe he's into Asian women. I mean, I've never seen him interested in any other woman besides Ada, so maybe that's just his flavor, you know. Did you know that back in the 80s, Italy made unofficial sequels to popular American movies? For example, Alien 2, On Earth from... Yes, I've heard of that. And what do you know? Guinea Pig Lover. You sound new, but so welcome. And do I play games? I think the background would tell you that, yeah, I play games. Yeah. Even if you saw my desk. Yeah, I play games. I've been playing game. Like if you just look at my desk, like my entire desk area is filled with nothing but games. So yes, I play games. Do I? Yes. I'm gonna need you to repeat what you said, man. Well, what happened? You have a Game Boy? Well, yeah, of course I have a Game Boy. Of course I do. I mean, they fit in so badly, it's good category. What the fuck is up, man? It's Commander Shepard. Hey, what's up, Commander? Welcome. Favorite Nintendo console? Ooh, damn, that's tough. I'm gonna go with the Nintendo 64. That was the first Nintendo console that I personally owned. I got it when I was 7. It wasn't the first one I played, but it was the first one I owned. So, but I mean, technically, a Game Boy would be like the first Nintendo like handheld. So, but yeah, so I would probably go with Nintendo 64. I'd have to go with that. Your Game Boy screen still hasn't come off. What do you mean? What do you mean come off? It's still there. Can you do a top 5 most anticipated games of 2026? Well, 2020. I think I did that already. I think I mean, I do a video about it, but I'm fairly certain I spoke about it. I mean, no. I mean, just from the games. I mean. I had something. Ah. I mean, in terms of like just, I mean, I mean, I guess just from my list, my top 5 would be like Control Resonant, Wolverine, Lego Batman, Phantom Blade, and just Halo Campaign Evolved. I mean, just off the top of my head, in no particular order. I mean, those 5 games, you know. Also, Ada sees a man in Leon, unlike Simmons, who's a simp. That's true. I always found that weird, though. I saw the new trailer for Crimson Desert. It has the potential to be a 10 or a Game of the Year. Okay. All right. Well, we'll see what happens when it comes out. Comic Gamer, your top 2 favorite PlayStation console eras are number 3, PlayStation 5, top 2, PlayStation 2, and PlayStation... Wait, what? Okay, wait. PlayStation 5... Wait. Are 3... Okay. 3, 5... 2... Wait, what? Okay, so I guess you're saying 5 is your favorite? I mean, okay. Top 5 co-op games? I don't know. That's a tough list. But all I know is Resident Evil 5 would be number 1. Winter Ghost, if Titus and Squall were to switch places, who would struggle the most? Oh, God. Ooh. Who would struggle the most? Definitely, Damn, that's tough. I think Titus would struggle a little bit just because he doesn't have as much of a he wouldn't have as much of a role with the story of Seed. If you threw Squall into Final Fantasy X, I think the only thing that changes is that you have a really depressing character. I mean, just putting Squall with to talk to Yuna. I mean, Yuna would be like, she'd be like Renoa, but like I don't think Yuna would get through to him. I think he would be more annoyed, and I think Yuna would find him just kind of depressing and bringing the group down. Like, I mean, say what you will about, I mean, the thing that works in Titus is he's a kind of a happier character, and so he kind of connects with some of the younger cast members. Like Titus has a great relationship with Waka. Lulu thinks highly of him. Kumari respects him. Auron looks after him. Yuna loves him, and Riku really likes is a good friends with him. It's just like you throw Squall in there, it just kind of messes up the dynamic. I mean, I just think people would find him really depressing, which he is for a lot of 8, which is why they spend so much time together in 8, and it takes a while before Renoa breaks through. But I just think he would be I would think in a practical sense, I think Titus would have a much harder time getting through 8 than Squall. But I think on a personal level, I think Squall would just leave the group because he just wouldn't see a point to stay. Like, I don't think he would be interested in being a guardian. He would just go out on his own. Can you do a top 5 games that blow my expectations? I don't think so. I don't think that's a good idea for a video. What do I think is a better game? Terminator Resistance or a RoboCop Rogue City? Oh, definitely RoboCop. Easy. Easy. What is my least favorite Harry Potter movie? Wait, are we talking Harry Potter movie or like Harry Potter World movie? Because those are two different answers. You mean PlayStation 3 is top 1? Okay. I mean, PlayStation 5 is top 3, PS2 is top 2, and then top 2 is 1. Okay, so I think you're saying 5 is 3, PS2 is number 2, and then your favorite is PlayStation 3. Okay. Okay, that makes sense. Can you do a top 5 games that blow my expectations? No, I can't think of any. That blew my expectations? I can't think of any. Titus is a good boy. Squall is emo. Well, Titus has a lot of daddy problems that I just don't think he could really resolve with the group in 8. I think they're a much more happy-go-lucky group, so that might help him through his issues. But like in a practical sense, I just don't know what he would bring. Like the thing about Squall is that Squall is the peak of his team's offense. I don't think that's not Titus's role. Titus is like Squall is the definitive leader of that group of Seeds members. You replace him with Titus. Titus is not a leader in that sense. He can't fit that role. Even in Final Fantasy X, he is not a definitive leader of the team. He's not. I mean, I could say he's like a starter in the offense, but he's not the leader. Not at all. I mean, he's learning things just as much as a lot of the other members are. I mean, he's going in with the like to be fair, going into that game, like Titus is the least experienced, and he stays that way till the end of the game. Harry Potter movie, not the world. Okay, Harry Potter movie. Honestly, I'm gonna be fair. I just probably the first one. And trust me, none of them are bad. None of them are bad. I think borderline, they're all great to amazing. But I would have to say probably the first one because not a lot happens. But I will say they butchered the shit out of Goblet of Fire, my god. But I would still watch Goblet of Fire over the first film. But it's like... But none of them are bad. It's just like not... You know, the kids, the story gets more interesting as you move through the movies. I'm just saying. I would like to think disrespectful of Leon getting killed after everything he went through. Well, he doesn't die, so yeah, I guess. Comic Gamer, an idea of an M-rated Captain America game set in World War II being Nolanized. I mean, I guess you could do that. I mean, World War II is a brutal time. I don't see why you wouldn't have Captain America go around killing people, seeing horrible things. I mean, that doesn't seem all that hard. Vamp, Titus is just thrown into a situation and he has to deal with it. Yeah, but I don't. But if you throw someone into the situation and you don't give him the right supporting members, then that could go disastrous. I mean, it's one thing to be thrown into a situation and deal with it. It's another when you have the right support network around you to deal with it. That's different. And a lot of characters go through that. Like Cloud went through a lot of things, but he had a good supporting cast around him to help him go through that stuff. I mean, he didn't face the traumas of his past by himself. He dealt with them in his own way, yes, but he also had the support of his friends and allies around him to push through those problems. I just don't think Titus would be able to do that if you threw him with the cast of 8. Because they're dealing with their own stuff too, and they need that definitive leader. And Titus just could not be that role. Like, he's more accustomed to being someone like a Zell or a Sophie type character who feels like he needs to be led. Like, you throw him in there, who's leading this group? It damn sure ain't gonna be Zell. It might be Chrysalis, maybe, but she's young too. Damn sure can't be Sophie. Renoa's not an option, and Irving's too much of a cowboy. He's not gonna take the leadership role. What is that black thing on my arm? Oh, wow, someone else mentioned it. It's a tattoo. I got it earlier today. My least favorite Lord of the Rings. Oh, come on. Oh, that's cheating. Okay, hang on. Hang on, Vamp. 2 different answers. Theatrical cut or extended cut? Because depending on which version, it's 2 different answers. Have him get the retirement he deserves and have Sherry be the go-to agent. Marcus, I would totally support that. 100%. 100%. 100%. What about a rated M Thor game where the melee weapons... heck, if they want to do that, I'm fine with that too. It does matter. Definitely Hollow's Plot 1 is my least favorite. Not much happens outside of Harry and Ron going through the run. No Vamp, I'm telling you, it does matter. You gotta tell me, theatrical or extended cut. I promise you, it is 2 very, very different answers for very good reasons. Very good reasons. Because the extended cut is a much different... The extended cuts are... Okay. Okay, if we're talking theatrical, I'm going with 2 Towers. Theatrical cut. If we're going extended cut, Return of the King. Barely. I think the only thing that hurts Return of the King is that the epilogue is so goddamn long. They could have cut some of that down. That's like my only problem with Return of the King, is that I just think the ending's too long. Take 10 minutes out. Wait, how much time do we have? Okay, we got 6 more minutes left. Just like a design for a rated M Iron Man. I don't think that sounds as interesting. And Marcus, I will never forgive Capcom for shoehorning Ethan like Paul Anderson did with Alice. Okay, here's the thing. I do not have a problem with Alice in the first movie. I will defend that first Resident Evil movie to my dying day. I think it's fine because it's just you're setting up a separate story in a world that is similar to Resident Evil. And it told its own story. Where it started going wrong is when you started shoehorn Alice into plot lines from the game and you were constantly beating the audience over by constantly telling everyone that Alice is better than every character from the game. That's when it was getting annoying. I mean, there's a scene, I hate this scene. That's when I knew I hated what they were doing. In Resident Evil 2 Apocalypse, where I think after Alice appears and saves the group from a bunch of dogs, Jill comes in and she says, "Wow, I'm good, but I'm not that good." That was total bullshit. Jill would never say that. And then you look at all the versions of the characters they brought in through the series. Hated what they did with Claire. Hated what they did with Leon. Hated what they did with Chris. They did not get one single Resident Evil character from the games right in the movies. Not one. Even Wesker was ruined. I was like, why did you even bother putting them in the movie if you were gonna fuck up their characters? Just stop. Like, she beats up Nemesis in a fist fight. Wait, really? Does that you? Ugh, I hated that. Favorite TMNT cartoon? Or definitely the OG 80s. Easy. Ethan just feels like a Silent Hill protagonist. You know, I thought that too. I did think that too. That felt weird to me. Resident Evil and Resident Evil Apocalypse are great films. I think the first one's fine. Apocalypse has some good moments, but I ultimately don't like it. And then they never made a good one after that. At least Alice looks like a Resident Evil character. With those tight black jumpsuits and psychic powers and an army of clones? She looks like a Resident Evil character to you? Are you crazy? No, she doesn't. You gotta go. Okay, well, we're almost done with the stream, so, alright. You actually prefer Apocalypse? Oh, God. Extinction? Oh, no. No, because... Oh, yeah, no. Just the first one. Just the first one. I like the first one. Apocalypse has some good things, but ultimately don't care much for it. Past that point, they're all trash. The fact that they made so many after the Apocalypse, I still found shocking. Do you think Dragon Ball Super Beerus will introduce Super Saiyan 4? I don't know. I just hate that they're redoing the Battle of Gods arc again. For the third time. It's not necessary. I mean, why? I mean, if you want to have like a series that focuses on Beerus's life, like give us a backstory of how Beerus became the God of Destruction. That would be interesting. Or let's actually see Beerus in like a real fight where we get to see him like really cut loose. We've not seen that since. From what we've heard, they're gonna do the same with Resurrection F, but I'm not sure. Yeah, that's what they're doing. Alright, if you guys got any last minute questions, better get them out now because we got 2 more minutes left before I have to jet out. Cloning has happened in the game canons. The Tyrants are perfect examples. But those are BOWs, not like super soldier women with psychic powers. That's different. What? Have I seen the 2007 DMMC anime? Yes, I have. And I like it. Do I own a pair of Jordan sneakers? What? Oh, buddy, Rashad, you must be new. Dude, all I wear are Air Jordan 1s. Like, I have I did a whole video going over my collection. I literally, like, I have, like, 15 pairs of these. I only wear Air Jordans. Like, that's it. Like, literally, that's all I wear. Like, I just bought, like, another pair, like, I don't know, like, last week. Like my entire closet, like, I have, like, a wall of Air Jordans. Jordan 1s. I got highs, mids, and lows. These are lows. These are like some of my favorite. And then like right here, like these are like some of the newer ones I got. But like, dude, like I might do an update version of that video. But yeah, dude, like all I wear are Jordan 1s. Alice is also BOW, I guess. You're a sneakerhead. I wouldn't say I'm a sneakerhead. I wouldn't say that. Okay, it's an hour. Okay, you guys want to see it before we head out? I mean, you might be able to see it here, but you know, yeah, this might be clear enough. Might be a little hard to see, but you know, okay. If you can't see it well here, then yeah, that's what it looks like. Thanks. It's a secret, vamp. It's a secret, but it's got a deep meaning. But it's written it's written in a special language you probably wouldn't know. Yeah. But again, so that'll cut it for that'll be good. Thanks for everyone for stopping by. We'll be sure to go back to our normal schedule next Wednesday, and we'll have the Twitch streams ready to go too. So again, hieroglyph. Yeah, that you're not you're close. You're close, very close. But yeah, thanks you guys for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time.